Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida, and I have that one bad mamma jamma of a Mustang. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. But before we get into this new performance nameplate on the Mustang platform, let's talk about what's going on here. So instead of sticking to names like the Boss 302, the Shelby Series, GT350, GT500, Ford decided for the S650 platform Mustang to bring out a new performance name known as Dark Horse. Now what's interesting is that this is the most powerful Coyote base power plant in a Mustang ever produced. Plus the great news is you still get to have it your way, 6-speed manual transmission or 10-speed automatic. Now, the Dark Horse is getting into some pretty tricky territory when it comes to price. One of those vehicles, obviously coming from the other side of Detroit, would be the Chevrolet C8 Corvette Stingray. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a Stingray and you're thinking C8 Z51 is the way to go, is it better than going Mustang Dark Horse? Especially ours, which has the handling package plus some other goodies. Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Oxford White with painted stripes of a Dark Horse and find out, is it the better performance car that you should be buying over the C8 Stingray? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, I feel like the Dark Horse really fits well with the new S650 platform when it comes to its shape. Now at the front of the business, you're still gonna get that classic Mustang look, but when you go Dark Horse, you're getting some specifics. You're getting this flat gunmetal gray material that basically covers the center of the front fascia, still getting full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Working your way down, we have ginormous functional corner air intakes for the heat exchangers, for aerodynamics. It is a gloss black, so there's a little bit of a blending of material, some gloss black, some gunmetal flat gray, and then down below, because especially we have the handling package, you're gonna get this massive flat black splitter up front. Of course, if you go Z51 Corvette, you are gonna get a bit of an extra splitter, and you also get some other aero bits that I'll touch on as we go around and compare it to this Dark Horse. Now, as we come across that long hood, wide grille area, there it is. There's that Mustang badge. It's been there since 1965. Full functionality up top with the gloss black. This is unique to the Dark Horse. You'll notice on both sides, we have Florida orange size snorkels. So this has that dual snorkel inlet for 2 throttle bodies, 2 air boxes, and of course the 2 openings to force feed all that air in there. Now on the lower portion, some Oxford White, and then you'll see some more gloss black with the functional grilling on the bottom. Now what's interesting is that if you compare this to the front end of a new C8 Stingray, it's either one of 2 materials. You're gonna have the body color, and then you're gonna have that carbon flash metallic material, which looks like gloss black until you get closer and it's got a nice metal flake to it. But let me know, which front end do you like better? Do you like the front of a Stingray with the Z51 performance package, or are you liking the front of this Dark Horse with the performance handling package? Now, as we rise up, I love that long classic hood because this is front engine compared to the Stingray being a mid-engine. When you go Mustang GT or Dark Horse, you're gonna get the functional gloss black heat extractor on the hood. Hot air gets dragged out from underneath there. And then you'll also notice that we have the painted, not vinyl, you can get it vinyl, but painted. It's a gunmetal metallic gray with the painted black. Really just cuts the Oxford White perfectly, does a great job. And what I'm happy to say is that this is the first one I've seen with the painted stripes, and the stripes actually go up and over all the way towards the trunk lid. Now, when you go Stingray, you can get racing stripes, but those are strictly just vinyl. They don't offer an actual painted stripe like you can on this Dark Horse. Now when we come around the bend, because we have the handling package, you're actually going to get unique wheels and tires. We have these forged aluminum wheels, love the satin steel finish on it. And then wrapped around those forged wheels are the new P0 Trofeo RS tires. 19 inches all the way around up front. They're 305 on the width, 30 series sidewall, and of course we're gonna have that ginormous Michael Jordan size 6-piston Brembo caliper with the Mustang logo there, 2-piece rotors, and then you're gonna have that special tuned track suspension that's gonna basically turn you in to a race car driver when you get behind the wheel. Now, if you're comparing this to the C8 Stingray Z51, this actually has larger rotors. The rotors are over 15 inches in diameter. Believe it or not, but on a C8 Stingray Z51, the front rotors are barely 14 inches. So this is over 15 inches in diameter rotors, so you're getting more real estate for braking. And then what's unique about the Stingray is that it has 19-inch wheels up front, 20-inch wheels out back. This has 19s all four corners. Both of them offer large Brembo 6-piston calipers, and both of them you could get these color choice out of the catalog. So they have colors like blue, silver, so on and so forth, red. The Trofeo tires are super sticky track day tires. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and just show you how the tread is on it, meant to do your track day. And I like on the handling package, because of the wider wheels and tires, you're getting a little flat black fender flare. Now when it comes to badges, there is your Dark Horse badge on the fender. And then following in that gunmetal gray appearance from the front, you have gunmetal gray on the mirror caps. And then you'll notice the stripes. Really think they did a spectacular job on the striping of this, fully painted all the way back. Color matched, of course, on the door handles. You got your flat black on your side skirt extension. I know a lot of people still think this looks like a Camaro, this part especially, but I'm telling you, the more you look at this car, the more you start to appreciate the style of it. Now out back, wheels are even wider, 19 inches in diameter still, but now they're 315, the tires are 315 on the width, 30 series sidewall. You have a limited slip diff, and that's good because if you go Z51 performance package with your C8 Stingray, that also has a limited slip diff. But I like the way you get the Brembos all four corners, and I just love this color of this wheel. It's really a unique, good looking wheel. Now as we come around back, because this has the handling package, to give us better handling, you have the giant trunk lid spoilers. So you'll see the special tuned end plates. You'll notice how we have a nice rise in the center with the gloss black. And I love the way they have this V-style pedestal support in the center. From the back, there it is, that horse staring at you as you're passing your competition. And then, of course, the classic tri-bar taillight with the sequential lighting. Working our way down to ground level, you have those flat black exhaust tips, 4-inch in diameter, nice slash cut. It is an active exhaust, so you can make it quiet, make it louder. You're gonna have your special rear diffuser, diff cooler, engine oil cooler, all the extra coolers to make sure that you go to the track and you're gonna be as cool as a cucumber and turn those hot laps. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this Dark Horse. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have the hood struts holding up that hood because it allows me to show off. Look at the bracing. Mustang Dark Horse, nice beefy bracing, and it even gets tied in to the firewall. So that really stiffens up the front end of this vehicle. And then underneath that bracing, you could see the intake plenum, the 8 individual intake runners for that Coyote 5-liter V8. So what are we looking at? On the Dark Horse, like I said, this is the most powerful Coyote powered Mustang, which means 500 horsepower, 418 pound-feet of torque. It does have a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, quarter mile in 12.3 at 117 miles an hour. Top speed is right around 166 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 3,975 pounds. MPGs, 14 in the city, 22 on the highway. Now, if you're gonna go mid-engine Corvette with the Z51 package, that comes with a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, 495 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed dual clutch, a Tremec dual clutch transmission. That car weighs 3,700 pounds, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, quarter mile in 11.2, and a top speed at 184 miles an hour. It's interesting though, but can you just say, oh, I'm gonna go Stingray because it's faster? There's something to be said about the driving experience. And this Mustang, being the dark horse and being tied in all the way back to 1965, has that traditional Mustang layout. Engine up front, rear-wheel drive, and you behind the wheel, whereas the Corvette now is mid-engine. It is faster on paper, but we're gonna take it for a drive, don't you worry, and see how big of a smile it could put on my face. But until we're ready for the drive, let's fire up this V8 pony and hear it gallop. Yeah, come on into this Dark Horse 2024 Ford Mustang, the most powerful Coyote-powered Mustang ever, and a new name, Dark Horse. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I finally got my significant other to approve. I got the thumbs up to get a performance car, but I gotta make it count because I don't know if I'll be able to get the approval again anytime soon. So of course, price is going to be important, but also I do like new technology as well. Tell me about this Mustang Dark Horse. How much is it? Well, I'm glad you got the thumbs up, and that's why I'm here to help you with the decision. This one pretty much has it all. The handling package, the painted stripes, the upgraded interior. What's the price tag? MSRP right around $78,000. Depending on if you go 3LT with the Z51 Performance Corvette, you're basically looking in the 80s. So this is a little cheaper, or I should say a little less expensive than the C8 Corvette. But let's see what you get if you're gonna go Dark Horse. To the door panels, I do like the use of materials. You're gonna have your soft touch black up top, then you have that black Alcantara, and then you have that indigo blue stitching. Really gives it a nice pop of some color. Sliding over, I really like the way they did the trim. Not a bunch of stuff stuck on. That flat gray finish for the door handle, no gloss black. And then the good news is, if you like bringing food with you, you got the larger door pocket in the Mustang compared to the Corvette. You could bring 2 buckets of Wendy's saucy nugs and a bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love the way they did the material. Of course, you're gonna have the Dark Horse badge with your specific chassis number. More of that great stitching, not only on the dash, but also by the passenger and driver's knees, even down below here. They went full in, and I like the way they did that. Slide on in, you're gonna get the B&O sound system with the center speaker right up top. Obviously on the Corvette, you have the Bose sound system. This though has more technology when it comes to screens. On a Corvette, it's an 8-inch infotainment system. This is over 13 inches. Love the full colors. Like the way that I could bring up however many auxiliary gauges I want. Even showing my Dark Horse here, and you could change the color of the Dark Horse. And then check this out, we go into cluster theme. So here's all our new clusters. This is all new. So we have over-the-air updates. Those are SVT Cobra gauges. So you're looking at back from 99 to 01. That's what the gauges look like. You could do your Fox body, you could do your classic Mustang. Really nice to be able to show the differences in history, and that's that lineage, or you could stick to the new track stuff, which is great. The one zonk, if you think everything's sunshine and rainbows, the one zonk is you have to use the touchscreen for everything. So what does that mean? To make the exhaust louder, you got to touch the screen. If you want to go into your AC controls, you got to touch the screen. We do have 3 stages of ventilated seats and 3 stages of heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Love the way they did more of that trim, the blue stitching. You have that fire engine red start stop button, some easy access buttons, and a volume knob. I just would like to have the AC controls be physical. Down below, wireless charging, a 12 volt. You're gonna wanna get a radar detector to save your rear end from going to jail. USB-C, USB-A, a place for some Jolly Ranchers. And then of course, this is for that 10-speed automatic transmission with the blue stitching. And then we have our very unique drift brake. So this works like your regular e-brake, but you're able to drift with this and really look like you're following in the footsteps of Ken Block. But nice to see technology like that. Remember, in the C8, you don't have technology like that. You just have a regular electric parking brake, and you only have the availability of the 8-speed DCT automatic, no manual. This, you can get a 6-speed manual. Now, what's interesting is when you go 10-speed, it's 355 gears. If you go manual, it's 373 gears. So they actually tune the gearing specific for the transmission. You do have your Mustang key fob, remote start, and all those goodies. Love more of that blue stitching. Open this up, you got another 12 volt, and you got a place in here to put a jar for all the tiers of the Corvette, the real diehard Corvette fans that don't have a front engine Corvette anymore. You have a front engine Mustang, it's been like that way since 1965. Well, guess what? From 1953 all the way to 2019, Corvettes were front engine. No more. And then you have the leather with the indigo blue, the Alcantara, more stitching, and then you have half electric, half manual, which that is a zonk in my book. And then the one thing this has above the Corvette is, of course, a back seat area. Now, you may have to be the size of Teddy Ruxpin to fit back here, or Gumby, but there is a back seat. So if you have kids, more than one, and you want to share the car passion with them, you'll be able to get them back there a lot easier than a Corvette, because a Corvette doesn't have rear seats. It never has. That's why it's America's true sports car. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the special steering wheel in this special Mustang. All right, guys, business time, where you want to be sitting. We have 3 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. 3. You got the nice Mustang Dark Horse badge to welcome you in every time you open up the door. Pedal box is pretty good. You do have aluminum brake pedal, throttle. I just wish, I'm still zonking them for not giving me an aluminum dead pedal. So that is a zonk. In the C8, you do get aluminum pedals. All of them, including the dead pedal. You do have your electric bottom, manual back, not my favorite, but the seats are comfy. They just don't have as much lateral grip as what you're going to find in a Corvette. You can get Recaros in here though, but the Recaros are not heated, not ventilated, and full manual adjustment, just so you know. Interior, you got more interior space in here. That goes without saying. Steering wheel, I love the leather, the Alcantara, the indigo blue stitching, the flat bottom. You got the flat black on all the switch gear. You do have paddles. They are plastic going up and down that 10-speed automatic. And you do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, but you got 12.4 inches of digital gauge cluster. Love it in track mode. That's my favorite. But let me show you the other gauges. So there's the SVT gauges, really cool with the white faces. You got the Fox body, those have been there. And then the other update has been the classic 67 to 68. So nice to have that variety in the different settings of the screen, which you don't get that as much in a Corvette as you do in this Dark Horse. But why don't we go ahead? There is a trunk. I know people question about trunk space, even in performance cars. So let's get back there and see if Tiger Woods will be happy with it. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Now, one of the things that's always made me chuckle is how, Chevrolet had to design the rear cargo area behind the engine, behind that mid-engine, to fit golf clubs. I always wonder who in the hell drives a Corvette to the golf course to go play golf. But if you're gonna do that, check it out on the Dark Horse, because you're gonna be able to not only put one bag of clubs, but also two bag of clubs. So that rear seat, of course, does a 50-50 drop where you'll be able to slide those bags, those golf ball bags with your golf clubs. And then you even have your subwoofer for the B&O sound system, which is nice. But on the other side, you got a big old nook for a bucket of balls. So you don't have to play with just your balls. You could store them back here and have them ready for when you're ready to play with them. And that's the thing that, with the C8 Corvette, you got a little bit less room, whereas you do on this. But I wouldn't take a Dark Horse to go play golf, so I still don't know who the hell's doing that. If you do that, let me know in the comment section so I at least know it's real, because I don't believe it. What I do believe is I believe in the on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We got the keys, we got the Raiti's Rides test track. Let's go on throttle and see how this Dark Horse feels. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. I have it in track mode. And what's great about it is that all of the modes have such a distinct feel and personality to them, which is really great. I want to go on throttle here and show you just some of the simple performance of this thing. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go! Love that sound. And that's where this car, when we talk about how it makes you feel, this car, sound-wise, to my ears, sounds better than a C8 Stingray with the Z51 Performance Package. And yes, the Z51 Performance Package gets you the GM Performance exhaust, multi-valve exhaust. I don't know what it is, but ever since Chevrolet went to the C8 platform, the Stingray, I feel, is quieter than the C7 Stingray. Z06 is a different story, but when we talk about specifically Stingray, this car to me sounds louder and it sounds better, which is awesome. Of course, having that limited slip diff, getting the power to the ground is a big plus. The seats are very comfortable. And another thing you're not gonna have to be concerned with is that huge bridge in the center. Remember, there's that bridge in the center of the C8 Stingray where all your AC controls and stuff are. That was there for the battery pack in the E-Ray. That's why that exists like that. You don't obviously have that in here, so it gives you a little bit more room to go about what you're trying to accomplish, whether you're doing a regular daily drive, your favorite twisty road, an autocross event, or even a track day. I mean, like I said, with the coolers, this thing is gonna last session after session because it's gonna help keep all the temps in check. Getting to that massive over 13-inch screen is well within reach. Not my favorite looking. I actually prefer the C8, even though it has a smaller 8-inch infotainment system screen. It's just, there's something about how they just plastered the screens to the dash after they got it so right on the S550. The digital display on the S550 is so freaking good. Why they went this route, I don't know. I guess it's all about bigger's better. That's the only thing I could think of. But steering wheel feels great. The materials are spot on. Visibility is fantastic, and that's another thing. Even though visibility in the C8 is very well done, the visibility in this Mustang is even better. Want to get out onto the highway, obviously, whether you're daily driving or driving to the track, you're going to have to get on a highway at some point, unless you live at a racetrack, which if you do, you're very, very lucky. but right away what you're gonna find is that the ride is very compliant. Now, because this does have the handling package, the ride is going to be a little bit on the harsh side. And the reason why I say that is because of those Pirelli Trofeo RS tires. They are a track focused tire, and on regular roads, they make a little bit more noise. The actual carcass of the tire is a little bit more stiff, like the sidewall. And you're obviously gonna go through tires a lot faster on this Dark Horse than you would on the Stingray, because the Stingray with the Z51 performance package, the best tire they offer is the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. This, like I said, is more of a track focused tire. This would be comparable to the Cup 2s and the Cup 2Rs. But still, like I said, very comfortable drive. Even with those tires, you could daily drive this thing, no problem. But let's see how she handles. Because like I said, this one has the handling package, and I just love the classic layout. Big old V8 front engine, and of course, rear wheel drive. Are you ready? On throw, here we go. 10 speed drops down and we're off. Fast shifts, just like a Gatling gun. And that's the thing, is on the new Mustang across the board, whether you go Dark Horse, GT, or even EcoBoost, they reprogrammed the 10 speed to be better, so that's not chasing through the gears. But I love the steering feel and feedback. They improved on that. Here we go. On throttle. On the brakes. Look at this. Here we go. Nice downshifts. Some pops, some bangs come out of the exhaust. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen to that sound. God. I am so happy that Ford decided to keep the V8 Mustang, to keep the V8 alive, because, you know, we've been talking about Dodge, and they don't have a V8 anymore. So nice to see Ford still doing it. Another thing you're gonna notice is you're gonna hear more of the different road noises, especially when you're running over any kind of sand or anything like that, because we have less sound deadening material. Helps cut down on some of the weight. But the steering is really direct. Seats do a decent job of holding you in. They're not a full-on performance spec seat. And like I said, you can get the Recaros if you want. But there's nothing that sounds quite like a Coyote V8, especially at full song. And, you know, the 6.2 liter in the Corvette, the LT2, great engine. Remember, it is push rod, so it doesn't rev out as high. This redline's at 7,500 RPM, so something to think about when it comes to engine performance, where the torque is coming in, and all those other goodies. We're gonna slow down a little bit here. You ready? On throw, here we go. Drops down and we're off. Look at this. Love the sound. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna wanna get yourself a radar detector in either car, because you're gonna get yourself into trouble. These cars are freaking fast. Faster than they've ever been. And one of the things that I like is the great feedback from those massive Brembo brakes. And of course, I love the way the 10-speed sort of blips the throttle as you're downshifting to help keep the chassis stable. Smart technology that they've added to that 10-speed. But I tell you, it's a special car, and it does bring the goods, especially when you go all in like this one is with the handling package. The other thing I like about when you're on throttle, especially if you're driving through some twisty bits, is that you could steer a little bit more with the rear of the car, whereas with the Corvette, because it's a mid-engine and the balance is obviously better, it just doesn't, it's not as playful. This is a lot more playful and easier to control, and I also feel like it lets you know when it's breaking loose out back, traction, when the traction is breaking loose compared to the C8, just because the C8 is a mid-engine car. So you kind of have to be on your toes with that setup, that platform. But I love seeing the bulge in the hood, especially with our painted stripes. They did a good job. You can't even, when you run your hand over them, you can't even tell where the edge is in the paint. So they did a fabulous job with that. Definitely fit and finish department deserves a thumbs up with the painted stripes. But I mean, look at this thing, watch this. It just handles, it just grips. On throttle, here we go. Drops down and we're off to the races. Unfreaking believable. But we are approaching, as you can see, Walker Ford. There's Frank Walker and Western Walker on the billboard. We're gonna get back, because we're here, and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Mustang minute. All right, guys, been another great day here at Walker Ford. Definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Western Walker, and Tracy getting us access to this Oxford white with the painted stripes and the Handling Pkg Dark Horse. Let me know what you think. How are you going to take your performance car money, your hard-earned performance car money? Are you going more Dark Horse, or are you going to go get a C8 Stingray with the Z51 performance package? Let me know which way you're gonna roll. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Lori Raiti. She's working that camera like the champion and the hard worker that she is. She is a 3-time YouTube videography champion. She actually got a championship belt one year, which is kind of cool. But thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.